We are moving on to some universal health principles. We look at the universal health principles and the recommendations that are based for health on these principles. So just to recap, we said that holistic health includes health of the self, plus health of the body, plus health of the environment. And that we can track our health with the help of a health tracker. We talked of the human being a coexistence of self and body, and that these are two distinct entities with different needs, different fulfillment of the needs, different activities and different responses. Then we mentioned that all of us aspire to be happy in continuity, and this aspiration can be fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling within the self. And what is happiness? Happiness is to be in harmony. So a self in harmony is a healthy self. Then we also talked about the human constitution, that there are 5 fundamental attributes that make up the human constitution. These are earth, water, fire, air, and space, going from gross to subtle elements. So some types of human constitutions have been described. Type A, or the air space type, type B, or the fire water type, and type C, or the earth water type. And of course with this, various permutations and combinations of these. So ill health in the body happens by an imbalance in these 5 attributes. Therefore, health or harmony in the body can be restored by restoring the balance in these 5 attributes. That we'll come to. How to go about that, we'll look at in the last session today. For now, we are going to look at the universal health principles and the recommendations based on that. So we'll try to understand what we mean by health principles, what are the recommendations, and because the human being is 2 units, self and body, we will talk here about the body, and in the next session we will talk about the self. So the principles relating to the body and the various recommendations for the health of the body based on these principles. So what exactly is a health principle? A health principle is a natural law that is impacting our health as a human being. So the reality is the same for all. Yesterday we were discussing that. It is the same existence. It is the same for all. We may be perceiving it differently, but it is the same for all. So the health principles are based on the reality of things as they really are. So for example, you can see a gross example in the case of the law of gravity. This is working for everybody on this earth, right? This is impacting every human being. Now, health principles are natural laws that are based on the reality of who we are as human beings and how we are interconnected with things around us. So the reality of the human being is coexistence of self and body. Now we may perceive it differently. We may assume it is only body. But that doesn't change the reality. The reality is, as a human being, we are self or consciousness and body. Since the reality is the same for all, the principles based on the reality, should they be same for all also? Yes. Therefore, these health principles are universal. They are the same for all. So they will be true for all human beings at all times in all places. Do not depend on sector, creed, nationality, race, gender, and so on. They don't depend on time, place, or person. They are the same for everybody, these universal health principles. They are also rational. Principles must be amenable to logical reasoning. If we are saying the recommendation is to wake up early, then we must know what is the logic behind it, why we should do it. We should be able to reason out the logic behind it. So principles must be rational. They should not be based on blind beliefs. Just because it is being said here, I have to do this, no. It's not a set of do's and don'ts. They should be verifiable. I should be able to verify on my own right that this is right for me. Not just because they are being stated. Yes? And they should lead to harmony. The principles should lead to harmony within ourselves, health in the self, as well as harmony with the body, as well as with the environment around us, so that it can eventually lead to well-being of all. So this is what the principles are about. They are universal, rational, verifiable, and they lead to harmony. And we will put these proposals of the principles, and you can then start the process of verifying within yourself. And then if you do according to recommendations, then you will be able to validate also in your living. When we talk of recommendations, so from inferences that are drawn from the universal health principles, certain recommendations for health have been made so that health can be maintained. These health recommendations are a guide to what you need to do in order to stay healthy. And by following these recommendations, you can be healthy and stay healthy. Since the principles are founded on the reality, we said they are universal, the same for all. Because the reality is one, same for all. What about the recommendations? So if we look at the recommendations may be different for different people. They may be dependent on age, on region, on time of day, season, so many things. So a very simple, gross example, different ages, the recommendation is very different for intake of food. So for a school-going child or a teenager, it might be a balanced meal with everything, cereals, pulses, milk, vegetables, fruit, everything. For a baby less than 6 months, of course we can't give balanced diet like this. Recommended diet is only milk. Baby doesn't have teeth to eat. Similarly, for the elder people, we will have a different kind of diet. So like that, the recommendations may vary depending on the age, depending on the season, depending on the time of day, depending on the region where the person is located, depending on the human constitution, so many things. So, now we will talk a little bit about the principles, some recommendations, not all. And then we will talk about how to implement these recommendations. So universal health principles What we said is to understand the reality, and it is based on the reality. It has a holistic perspective, taking everything into account. This is the why to do for health. When we understand what kind of reality there is, we understand why we are doing something for health. The recommendations give you the answer to the question what to do for health. Right? And the implementation of the recommendations, where we'll talk about practices, processes to stay healthy, that will give you the answer to the question how to do. So why to do, what to do, and how to do. Once we have clarity about these three things, then can we take care of our health? Yes? No? Yes. So let's start with the principles, and like we said, as a human being we are self and body, so we'll start with the principles relating to the body. So these are some 4 principles that we have put down. One is that the body is a material unit in nature. It follows the material laws of nature. It is a self-organized unit which is in harmony. It exists in coexistence with the self and has definite conduct. It also exists in nature along with other units and is in interaction with them in a very definite manner. And we'll broaden this, we'll expand on this so that it becomes clear what is the meaning of all this. So body is a material unit and follows the material laws. What does that mean? One, we discussed that it is made up of units that are material in nature. So for example, water, air, etc. When it comes to fire, you can relate it to the sunlight, the warmth. So these are units in nature that are making up the body. Like all material things, it is temporary. It undergoes change from birth to teenage to adult to old age, elderly, and then finally to death. And we mentioned all this. Their needs are material or physiochemical. So one recommendation for health that is the same for all human beings is to consume food that is nurturing for the body, because this is what will help the body to grow, to become healthy and to become strong. If we consume food that is not nurturing for the body, it may weaken the body, leading to ill health. How about some other recommendations? Some recommendations may be different also. Like we mentioned, appropriate intake. Since the body is a material unit and it is undergoing change, the recommendation for the different and changing needs of the body will be different. So all age groups need a balanced diet. But the recommendations vary for babies, for toddlers, for school-going children, for teenagers, for adults, for elderly. So in childhood, this is the period largely of growth. Children are in the growth phase. There is formation of new tissue. So we need a balanced diet, and we want more protein-rich foods for children, because to have growth in the body, to lay down new tissue, we need more protein. So in childhood, the recommendation will be for a balanced diet, but with protein-rich food, like milk, like legumes, beans, peas, so many things, dals. In the adult, it is a period of maintenance. You still need a balanced diet, but maybe not as high in protein. So in childhood, the requirement for protein is more than 2 grams per kg. 2.2 grams per kg is required for the child. In adulthood, the requirement is not as high. It is about 0.8 to 1 gram per kg or 0.9 to 1 gram per kg. So as compared to the body weight, the requirement for protein is less in an adult than for a child. And for the elderly, it is largely a period of degeneration. So we start with formation, maintenance, and then deformation, moving from birth to adulthood to elderly and death. So in this case, where already tissues are getting degenerated at a fast rate, you need to have larger quantities of foods that are cleansing, foods that are naturally detoxifying. So these foods are good even for the younger age groups, the detoxifying and the cleansing foods. But especially so, the requirement becomes more, the necessity becomes more in old age. So we don't generally give herbal teas to a small child. What will they get out of herbal tea for their growing body? But in old age or in midlife, we talk of herbal teas. Herbal teas like we had yesterday. Not with tea leaves, but some natural herb boiled and brewed in water. Any question in this? Or should we move ahead?
So we could say precisely protein is meant for growth sake only, or does it have any other role in the body?
No, I didn't say that. I said adults also have a requirement of protein, but it is less as compared to the small child. So in the adult also you need about 0.9 to 1 gram per kg of protein. And even to maintain the tissues, for all the enzymes to function properly, for the muscles to work properly, you need some protein. So, but not as high a quantity as in childhood. Any other question, or should we move ahead? So with this we can get an idea of the kind of food that we are eating and whether it is appropriate for us or not. Second principle is we are talking about the body being a self-organized unit in harmony. So all parts of the body are organized in a very definite, organized, orderly manner. So all these systems, they are working together in perfect harmony with one another, and they are working for the good of the whole body, for the larger harmony of the whole body. So there will be harmony in the total body. So you have processes of composition, things are getting composed, things are getting decomposed in the body. Cleansing is happening, repair is happening, regeneration is happening. We may be oblivious to it. We are busy with the outside world, but some processes are happening in the body without our having to consciously intervene. And all of this is leading to harmony. That's how we said that newborn babies are generally born healthy. So obviously things are going on in harmony, that's why. So when there is processes of composition, there will be formation of tissue, there will be growth in the body. When there are processes of decomposition, there will be deformation. And these are going on hand in hand. Just that in the childhood, there are more processes of composition, and as we go towards old age, there are more processes of deformation and degeneration. So one example could be that the body, you give it food, the food gets deformed. What does it form? It nurtures the body, and some waste is generated. So it's very interesting. Things are happening in a very orderly manner. Are you able to see? So, you eat a banana, or you eat an apple, or you eat a cucumber. Body is getting nurtured, body tissue is forming. Now you can't locate that banana inside you because it has changed, it has deformed. But what has formed might be new tissue, might be formed, new cells may be formed. And some waste matter is also produced. Now you can see in the body, there is a process what we call a balance or state of equilibrium called homeostasis. So many processes are going on, and you can see that our body temperature is generally maintained in a very narrow range, isn't it? We are warm-blooded, we say. The temperature is maintained regardless of the outside weather. The body maintains the temperature. Water content is maintained generally, unless we make some, major intervention. Oxygen level is maintained. I'm not talking about disease, I'm talking about when the body is in harmony. And various processes of cleansing are going on in the body. Have you noticed that when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you have some phlegm. You have to cough it out. You have to spit it out. What is happening here? There is something in the body which is not agreeing with the body. And so this is forming phlegm. And in the morning, when the cleansing processes are going on, that's the time you find it easy to spit it out. Have you noticed that? Similarly, there are processes of repair and regeneration going on. So at night, we go to sleep. We are peacefully sleeping. We don't have to give any instruction to the body. We are just sleeping comfortably. But repair and regeneration is going on in the body. So liver detoxification, kidney detoxification, all that is happening in the night time. And this is all maintaining the body in harmony. So what would be a recommendation based on this principle of self-organization of the body? If we understand these processes are going on, we will try to help these processes. How? So we'll see how. At least we should not disturb these processes. Allow them to happen. At least if we can't aid it, we should try to allow it to happen. So, processes of composition are leading to growth. And we said recommendation is to eat food that is nurturing, not harming for the body. Processes of decomposition are leading to deformation of food. Waste matter has to be expelled. For the waste matter to be expelled, what kind of food should we have? So the recommendation is for eating fiber-rich foods. Do we know what are fiber-rich foods? Yes? What are some examples of fiber-rich foods? Yeah. So all fruits and vegetables largely, they have fiber. And we'll also find out later how much fruit we should have in a day. So these fiber-rich foods are going to add bulk to the food that we eat. And when we add bulk to this, it helps the things to go down through the intestines and out, so that the waste can leave the body with ease. Similarly, we have processes of cleansing which are leading to detoxification. So the recommendation is to rise early in the morning. Go to the toilet early so that there is more complete bowel evacuation. And how that happens, we will look at when we talk of the routine, what time we wake up. So to aid these processes, we can follow some of these recommendations. Then the process of repair and regeneration, which we said happens at night. So if we go to bed early by 9:30, 10, these processes can happen undisturbed. But supposing we are awake till late at night, then these processes can get hampered. So at least we will not disturb these processes. So let's get into our groups and let us discuss for a few moments what things we are doing to aid these processes. Or at least are we making sure we're not disturbing these processes. So we'll take a few minutes, then we'll come back to your observations. Okay? Okay, let's get to some sharings. Group 1. Yes, who would like to share? Yes, other people should also share. Please, if we can listen to group 1 is doing the sharing. All the groups, if you can just listen, group 1 is doing the sharing. Yes.
Like the growth. So intake of food should be proper, and like our philosophy have mentioned, the intake of food has to be before the sunset. Sunrise and
no, I am asking what are the processes we are doing? You,
me,
or the group?
The group have discussed that intake of water to the maximum level, like at least 3 liters in a day has to be there, so that this cleansing will be proper. Also, this deformation of a food is like adding a little percentage of a fiber-rich food in the diet will help in decomposition in a proper way, so that this repair and regeneration will also help by going early to the bed. So, like most of us have we have the habit of going to the bed by at least by 10 and waking up by 6 o'clock. So, which is a healthy routine. So, I hope our group has a proper repair and regeneration process.
Yes, nice. Group 2?
So, from our group side, so process of composition, growth. So we are eating the food to nurture our body, but we cannot ensure it does not harm our body. And second thing is deformation of the food. For that we are taking fiber-rich food, but the quantity is very less. And the third one is process of cleansing. Definitely we are not raising early. And same way, the last one, repair and regeneration also, same thing. Most of us, we are not going to bed early. We are in the process of correcting ourselves. But we are not still completely done. And we have some more points to add on.
Ma'am, for processing of repair and regeneration, if we eat a dinner before going for bed, before 2 hours before, if we are going for bed, it could be better. I think we are trying now.
Yeah.
Early dinner.
So we'll talk about that when it comes to the routine, when to do what. Everybody has a sheet of the health tracker or no? No? Nobody has? Only that. So we'll pass around. Not yesterday's assignment, health tracker. So right now the health tracker is empty. As we are doing the sessions and as you come across things that you need to make changes in your life for, you can note them down in the health tracker and with a timeline, how long you think it will take you to make that change happen in you. That way we can ensure better health in the body. So eventually it will be about that. Especially when we come to the practices for staying healthy, then you will be able to add some practices, like it could be early rising, what time, or going to bed, what time. And then over the week you can see how often you have been able to do that, accomplish that, your target time. So that way you can track your health. Okay? So we'll distribute it out before the processes. But right now, we are talking about the principles. So another principle that we're talking about is that the body exists in coexistence with the self, and the body has definite conduct. So being self-organized, several activities are going on in the body in a very definite manner. We don't have to consciously keep giving minute-to-minute instructions. Now take deep breath in, now heart should beat, now blood should be pumped. You don't have to do that. Things are happening in a self-organized manner. Body doesn't have much of a choice in this. This is happening. It doesn't change these activities. Like, there is only a certain amount of food that the body can digest. Suddenly, if you decide to eat some lot of food, body can't change, can't choose. It will still be able to digest only that limited amount. The rest is going to cause problem. Okay? You can keep aside the health tracker, especially when we come to the processes. You will be clear about how to put the things down. Because the details of when to wake up, what to eat, all that we'll be talking about in the processes. So the body doesn't have choice, but you have choice. And you are already exercising that choice, maybe unconsciously, but we can exercise that choice consciously now. So you can choose to consume a large quantity of food because you like the taste. But because the body cannot change, it cannot choose, it has to be with that definite conduct, then it will end up going into disharmony. And it doesn't have any choice to stop this. So you can see this with many examples. Therefore, we have to make our choices consciously and wisely so that the body can remain in harmony. Eat the right choice of food, food that is nurturing for the body. Eat in the right quantity, that which is sufficient for the body. And eat only as much as the body can digest. Otherwise, body will go into problem. Similarly, body undergoes repair and regeneration at night. Body doesn't have choice in this. That's how it is. It happens at night. If I am awake all night, can these processes happen properly? No. Now, if I am not aware of this fact, then I might think, okay, I missed 2 hours, I slept 2 hours late. In the daytime, I'll catch up 2 hours. Is it the same? No. Repair and regeneration time is gone. That happened at night. Now, when we are sleeping in the day, those processes won't happen now, just because I think they should happen. Body's role is very definite. So like that, the body works in a very definite manner. We need to understand the body and we need to act accordingly. That's why the recommendations to aid the process, at least not to hamper it. Body also interacts with other units in nature in a very definite manner. So it is existing with so many other units, with plants, with trees, with soil, with air, with water, so many things. And it interacts with these in a very definite manner. Or in other words, you can term it that it recognizes its relationship with them and fulfills that relationship in a definite manner. This is another way of saying it. So for example, every time you take in a breath, so many components of the air are going inside the body, right? It's not only oxygen, nitrogen, whatever else is going in. Body is taking up that oxygen from the air, using it to run the various processes that require oxygen in the body, and it is releasing carbon dioxide which you exhale out. This is happening in a very definite manner. Suddenly it doesn't happen that instead of oxygen it starts taking carbon dioxide. Suddenly it is not that instead of releasing carbon dioxide the body is releasing oxygen. It doesn't happen like that. So all this interaction is happening very definitely with various things in nature. So we were talking of the sun cycle. So your body's digestion also works according to the sun cycle. When the sun is at its peak, at 12 noon on top, the digestive fire is at its peak. That means at that time you will be able to digest better. But when the sun goes down, digestive fire is going down. Now the digestive capacity to digest is less. Same digestive system, but time has changed. So have you heard this this saying that banana is like gold in the morning, like silver in the afternoon, and like lead at night? Nobody has heard? Somebody? No one? It may not be true for the bananas here. The southern bananas, you get small, different variety bananas. But for many types of bananas, banana is cooling for the body. And it is not so easy to digest. Meaning, the body has to make some effort to digest. So, it is generally the same banana if you eat in the morning, it will be very nurturing for the body. If you eat in the daytime, it is still okay. But late at night if you are eating, it may not be digested properly. Therefore they say banana at night is like lead. But I am not sure that that is true for the bananas here in South, because these are different types of bananas. And maybe that's why you have not heard of this saying. This is another issue. If we are eating banana for having good bowel movement, why do we have to have it at night? You can as well have it in the day. It's fiber food. So, I mean, we can make those choices, what I'm saying. So this is what we were talking, that just like other units in nature respond to the sunlight in a very definite manner, specific changes also take place in the body in a very definite manner. So when the sunlight comes up in the morning, the digestive enzymes are now being released in the body. As the digestive enzymes start being released from morning sunlight, say 6 a.m. or so, these enzymes reach their peak at about noon. That's when the body is able to digest the food best. And similarly, when the day dawns, when the dusk appears, when the sun is going down, body's ability to digest the food weakens. It is poorest at night after sundown. So, similarly, if you look at secretion of melatonin or the sleep hormone, once darkness sets in, this hormone is released and it makes you feel sleepy. But if we are sitting with our laptops, we are chatting on our phones, we are busy with screen time at night, bright lights, now melatonin release is hampered. Melatonin release is hampered, so we don't feel sleepy, because that's the sleep hormone that is going to make you feel sleepy. Now you're not sleepy, so you keep chatting on the phone and say, I wasn't sleepy. But the reason for that was that we were sitting with screen time at late at night. So therefore, very often the recommendations are to put aside your mobile, your laptop, all those gadgets, at least 15 to 20 minutes or half an hour before the time to go to sleep, so that you are unwinding, you are dimming the lights. Why do we dim the lights? We could as well sleep in bright light, but we all understand that we are not able to sleep properly with bright light. So we turn off the light when we go to sleep at night. Then why don't we do it with our laptops and our mobiles and everything else? Those are also very bright lights. Similarly, if we look at definite interaction with other units, we said that the digestion of food is at its peak at noon and the digestion wanes. So that's why the recommendation is to have a hearty meal for lunch around noon, or at least finish the lunch before 2. And when we talk of the routine, we'll come to know why you must finish your lunch by 2. Don't make it longer. We tend to get busy with our work. When we get busy with our work, we may be doing things like postponing our lunch. So I'm very busy today, too many activities, too many things to do. So it's okay, when I finish, I will have lunch. That finishing time may be 4 o'clock. I can choose to put the food into my mouth at 4 o'clock, but I can't make the body digest it at 4 o'clock. It will not happen properly. And we'll talk about that later. Similarly, have a lighter dinner early at night, preferably between 6 and 8. Because for that food to be digested, first of all, there will be still some minimal sunlight around 6 o'clock. It will help you to digest the food. The other thing, once you eat this food, you're not going to be very active. Soon after that, if you're going to fall asleep, when you sleep, your metabolism slows down. This food that you ate will not get digested properly. So it will create more problems, bloating, gas, indigestion, all those issues. So therefore, recommendation to eat lighter dinner, lighter than the morning, earlier at night, between 6 and 8, so that it is digested properly. Therefore, the recommendation at night, when you go to sleep, turning down bright lights, putting away mobiles, phones, computers, so that it doesn't interfere with melatonin secretion, and falling asleep at about the appropriate time at night, around 10 p.m. Any questions regarding this? Not getting your voice.
So we just have seen the daily routines in taking food. And there is a mentioning about this is applicable for monthly and seasonal timings also. What is it, ma'am?
Yeah, we'll come to it. We won't go into monthly and season. You haven't really heard about the daily routine yet. We will talk in more detail about the daily routine in one of the sessions tomorrow. We'll talk. See, when it comes to seasonal routines and monthly routines, because this is an introductory level workshop, we are not talking much about that. But you will see that one example is, we may have heard about the Ekadashi fast. There are some monthly changes. So twice a month, there are some changes that happens, environmental changes, where the body does not need that much food. Once in 15 days it happens. So if we have the level of awareness that we can decide, we can see that, okay, today I don't think the body needs food, then it's okay. But if we are not able to do that, people put it together. They made it easy for us. They said on such and such day, every month, you do fast. So twice a month, you have what we call Ekadashi fast. You might be calling it something else here. Similarly, if you see menstrual cycles, they happen once a month. It is in correlation with the lunar cycle. You've heard of high tide, low tide. It has to do with the lunar cycle. Body is 70% water. So, of course, it will have some impact in the body also. So like that, there is impact on the body. Similarly, in the seasons. So certain seasons, like in the winter, digestive fire is good. You are able to digest many things. In the summer, digestive fire is low. You may not be able to digest too many things. In the winter, it is dry weather. So you need, in summer, it is very dry and hot. So you need foods that are watery, cooling. So you'll see in nature you get kheera, kakdi, cucumber, all those things. All that bottle gourd, ridge gourd, all these things you see in the summer. They are very watery. Nature has provided that. Of course, when we don't understand it, today we are growing everything all seasons. So you can get everything, but is it doing the body that much good or not? So we'll talk a little bit about it, but largely we'll be focused on the daily routine when we talk of the routine. Is it okay? Any other question? Mike?
Our daily routine, we are actually, we would like to follow to keep ourselves in a better way. But the time, I guess, we couldn't find much time for that. Why? Because we have many activities to be done. And we are following that. We wanted to sleep early. And we wanted to have hygienic food, everything. Nutritious food, everything. But apart from that, many activities are there that also has to be looked on. So how to balance everything and also to look after such routine work as well, ma'am, in a continuous way.
Yeah.
So that's most challenging.
Yeah. So if it is important to us, we will find ways of doing it. Like Dr. Mirunalini was just sharing with me about the fact that at 10 o'clock when she has a break in the morning, she's a busy anesthesiologist. She's busy in the OT all day. At 10 o'clock when she has a break for tea, that's when she has her breakfast. I mean, how long does it take to eat? 10-15 minutes? If we are just focused on eating and we are not chit-chatting or doing other things. Similarly, many times we tend to finish things at night and then only go to sleep. That's what. We can as well change that practice, wake up early and do those same things and go to bed early. That also is a possibility. So if we are aware of what the repercussions are, then maybe we will make those changes.
We couldn't spend time for our own sake. All it is done for everyone, for all activities.
It is not that we can't spend time for our own sake, it is that we don't think it is important.
Yeah, that's what.
And it does not mean taking time away from somebody else. I will share my experience with you. For many years, I was not aware of this. Because in our practice of modern medicine, there is no talk of timing. At least there used to not be. It was not important. So for me, it was after I finished seeing all the patients in my practice, after doing all the work that I need to do, then I will go home and eat my food. So there were days when I ate my food at 4 p.m., at 5 p.m. I can forcibly put the food in the mouth, but it won't get digested. What's the point? So the same thing, you can change the practice. You can try to fit it in the right time. Otherwise, you have to bear the consequences. The body will go into disharmony. There's no doubt about it. You have to deal with that.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Due to professional commitments, IT professionals, doctors, even security personnel, unable to sleep during night, what they can do?
Yeah. So it's very true that, those kind of professions where you have to stay up all night, those do take a toll on the body. They will cause disharmony in the body. But this is why, at least in the medical profession I can see, the junior doctors are the ones who do residency, where we are busy all night, up most of the night. But that's only a period of 3 years. And you are young at that time. So what happens? Body is able to bounce back. But over time, if we are doing this for years and years and years and years, it is bound to have, a point will come when the body will not be able to bounce back. then you have to deal with the consequences. So, I mean, let's just say that outward development, modernity has come with a price, and we have to make our choices. If we don't understand, then we make many wrong choices, like I gave you my example. But once you understand, you can move things around and try to change that. So that is why, you know, in places where there is requirement for these kind of, you know, staying up all night or having very tough time in the job or something like that, it is okay in youth for some time, because you will be able to overcome it after some time. But if it is continuing at midlife, after midlife, then it will definitely take a toll on the body, and we can try to minimize that wherever we can. End of the day, a job is also a choice. It's not a compulsion. At no point should we be a slave to a job or to a habit or to anything for that matter. If we can be in charge, then we will try to minimize those kind of things and make better choices.
Ma'am, just a question, ma'am. In earlier days, we used to get up without alarms actually at home and all. Naturally, we used to get up, go to college on time and all. But now, without the alarm, not able to get up at all. Why is that so much that we have been conditioned like that? Is it a possibility that we can get back so that...
One of the major factors is what time we go to bed. We may decide that tomorrow I will wake up at 6. But even that, you will find many times the decision making itself is not 100%. So if we, supposing in a family we say, we need to go for a walk tomorrow. Let's all get up at 5 and go for a walk. Now, you will see some family members will say yes, yes, others will say, we'll see in the morning. If I wake up, we'll go. That means what? I'm already deciding I don't want to wake up. If I really want to wake up, supposing my daughter is coming from somewhere, her flight is landing, I have to be there to receive her at 5. Then what happens? Then we do it very fast. We are eager, we want to do it, then there's no problem in waking up. Then it is possible we wake up several times at night also. Is it time? Is it time? Do I need to get up? Maybe I should get up. 4 o'clock, now at least I should get up. But if we are not looking forward to the day, or if mentally or physically there is a lot of exhaustion, then we may not feel like waking up in the morning. Then we will need alarms. But one important thing is going to bed at the right time also. Because the body requires only a certain amount of sleep. You can't keep sleeping for more than that. So even though in today's time we might say that you need 8 hours of sleep, everybody doesn't have to have 8 hours of sleep. You will find that some people are able to get up with less sleep. Quality of sleep is important. Am I having a lot of disturbance mentally inside? Then I won't be able to sleep well. So I wake up feeling tired. So many things, many factors are there. Okay?
Ma'am, I'd like to extend the same question. What is my personal case is quite different. If many times I tried to set my biological clock and I tried to sleep early. But what happened, if I sleep early, I will get up early also, and sometimes midnight. And whole day I feel exhausted. And if I sleep late night, then my biological clock is quite correct and I feel very energetic. So how to balance and overcome this issue, ma'am?
if you sleep late, your biological clock is not exactly correct, because now many of the processes that happen, like liver detox happens by 11. So if we are delaying our sleep till later, many times it may be this factor: bright lights, so many other things, work-related worries, anxieties, I want to finish something now before I go to sleep, and so on. But you have to get into that cycle, that routine. Once the routine starts, it forms, then you won't have this problem. So what, if you wake up at 12, you can go back to sleep? What is there? Usually it will not cause a problem. It will cause a problem only when mentally I am not at peace. I have many thoughts racing. I have worries, I have anxieties, something like that. Then I won't be able to go back to sleep. Could that be a factor?
If I wake up midnight, then I won't get any sleep.
This is what I'm saying. So if you sleep by 10 and you're waking up at midnight, then normally if you've just had 2 hours of sleep, you should be able to get back to sleep. If you're not able to do that, you should also look at what is going on in the imagination. Sometimes we have concerns, we have worries, we have anxieties, work-related pressures, whatever else we are thinking about. Then we don't fall asleep easily.
For your question, I will give some answers or solution. Yes, it is on.
Yeah.
Here, first point is we have to go to bed before 9 or 9:30. So here I have a practice of nearly 50 years. I am 57 years old. I am going by bed 9, nowadays 9:30, work up by 3:30 from childhood onwards. Till now I am 3:30 I am waking up. No alarm is I am setting up. And automatically, even though if I go for some functions a little bit late to bed, I will wake up by 3:30. I have the same stamina, same spirit till 9:30. Main important point is, here when we are going to bed or while going to home, we have to remove the blanket of our working place. But the main problem for everyone is, so we are not removing the blanket, we are continuing the working professional there in the home. So that is why the cooking is late, eating is late, always seeing the mail, etc. This should be thrown away. If you so, this is a good solution. If you are continuing, that means 24/7 you are working for to whom? Do not know. You have to live for you. This is the thing. And you should not think about anything. Only I want to sleep, I want to sleep. I will sleep for within a minute.
Yeah.
That is the thing if you practice. So here, first of all, don't afraid of your job or anything. Is it first afraid of your health? Then you go for sleep. So if you are not thinking about the sleep, and always, another point is, all are having the mobile phone now, we are watching for others how they are working. We are not seeing how we are work.
Yes.
Even though eating, no, you are eating something, whether the lizard maybe they go inside, but here what he is doing. This type of thing should be avoided.
Yeah.
And you have to make the mind is very clear. I am living for me, for my health, not for others. I am taking my dinner by 7:30, before 7:30. Even any death or whatever it may happen in my home, I will take my dinner. I will go by sleep by the same time and wake up there. I am least bothered about anything. So here you can ask the question, is it possible for all? Yes. Is it possible for all? Under many circumstances. You have to make it. You are the human being, no? You are unable to take a decision means animals are doing well, no? So that is the human beings are called as a rational animal. What is the meaning of the rational? If it is so, this type of workshop need not require. You have to apply on your mind. Is it clear? That is my view. So we have to make discipline on our own. We need not to learn from others. And anybody is making alarm for a dog or cat, automatically it is coming out from the cage, no? Automatically after sunset it is going. And we are telling about others, speaking about others, but we are not following. That is why we are sitting over here.
Okay. Shall we go back to, you have a question?
Ma'am, we are living in metropolitan cities like Chennai, Bangalore and all. So here we are exposed to more sounds, more number of pollutions, okay, compared to good areas like natural oriented areas. So the people who are living in these type of cities will exposed to more health hazards. They face any health issues compared to people living in a good natural oriented areas. Though we are living here, it is unavoidable. So how to face this?
Yeah, so wherever we can take precautions, we'll take precautions. End of the day, everything is a choice for me, isn't it? I choose based on my priorities. If the job, the place is important for me, I choose that priority. But at the same time, health is also important, so I will make some choices accordingly where I can probably minimize the risk, right? If you talk about noise pollution, come to think of it, people who live near train stations or people who live near airports, are they not able to sleep? They are able to sleep. They condition themselves, or they get conditioned unconsciously. Sometimes people who live near train stations, they feel very good. Oh, that sound, that's very soothing, and they go to sleep. And if they are not in their home and they are away from that, their silence, they can't sleep. So it's all about conditioning. That we can change.
Ma'am, that's very true, ma'am. Once we went for the first time to Germany for the postdoc fellowship, and in that house we had to sleep for the first time in the first day. There was no fan. Without that fan sound, we were not able to sleep.
Yeah, true.
So why do we get sleep after post lunch, ma'am? Because even though, why do we get sleep after lunch?
Yeah, so if you have a heavy meal, this is a very simple thing. There is a limited amount of blood in the body, right? Wherever the body requires blood, it sends the blood there. You don't have to do it, it is self-organized. If you're doing a lot of exercise, the blood is going to the muscles. If you've eaten a large meal, the blood is going to go towards the stomach to digest the food and all of that. So some may be less in the brain. Now the brain activity slows down a little bit. So you feel little dull, little tired, little sleepy. But it also depends on the type of food you eat. So you will notice those foods that have what we call a high glycemic index. Those foods like white rice, white bread. What meals? Full meals. So those kind of substances, they raise the blood sugar very high in spikes. When that happens, you will find you feel very dull and sleepy. It's like you want to doze off.
But sometimes,
one second, let me finish. So, but if you have whole grains, so instead of white rice, you switch to like this millet rice, or you switch to brown rice, you may not feel as sleepy. If you have very oily, spicy food, you may feel more sleepy. If you have fruit, you won't feel sleepy. So like that also there are changes based on what you eat.
Then there may be a contradictory. If we have a very light dinner, so that time also we are not having sleep. If we have very light dinner, we are not able to sleep. Our stomach is crumbling or recover some food like that.
Put the mic in front of you.
Ma'am, if we have light dinner also, we are not able to sleep.
It's not like that. You sleep because of the darkness, the melatonin hormone release. And it is also conditioning that at night we have to sleep. But you are saying that if the dinner is not heavy, then we won't be able to sleep. That's not true. It's a mindset. It's an assumption. Not true. Person sitting behind you will vouch for it. Yeah? Anything else? Anybody else has any observation? I think we are almost, our time is also almost up. I'll just sum up. And then 12 noon is lunchtime, right? Yes. So what we were saying is that a health principle is a natural law that impacts our health as a human being. The health principles are based on the reality of things as they really are. The reality is the same for all, so the health principles are also the same for all. They are universal. Health principles are universal, rational, verifiable, and lead to harmony in the human being. That means in the self and in the body, and harmony of the human being with the environment. So principles give you the answer to the question why to do for health. Recommendations for health are based on these principles. They guide you on what to do in order to stay healthy. So they give you the answer to the question of what to do for health. While the health principles are universal, some recommendations may be same for all, but other recommendations may be different. And then we will further talk about the implementation. Tomorrow we will spend more time doing that. We will be talking about the practices and processes for staying healthy, the how to do part. Then we talked of the universal health principles relating to the body, that the body is a material unit. It obeys the material laws of nature. It is a self-organized unit which is in harmony. It is in coexistence with the self, and its conduct is definite. It has no choice in the matter. And it exists with other units in nature and interacts with them in a very definite manner. So this is what we talked about regarding the health principles related to the body. In the next session after lunch, we will talk about the health principles related to the self. And then in the last session today, we will do the finishing up of the Know Your Constitution part, where we will talk about why there is imbalance and that is leading to ill health, and what to do to correct that balance depending on your constitution. Okay? Ma'am, I think you came late, so you can pick up that Know Your Constitution chart and fill it up, because we'll be doing that activity in the last session. Yes, somebody was saying?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to sound a bit pessimistic right now. I would like to know, like, there are people who I have watched, like, they sleep on time, they get on time, they have their food on time, but still they exercise also. Whatever they have to do, they are doing in all the perfect ways. Time management was really good. But still I see that person is like getting cancer or getting some issue, even though they had the right food, be it fiber or be it like whatever the body needs, the nutrients. What is that, ma'am?
Yeah.
Stress.
So right now, we are talking about one of the factors can be that we see things from outside. So you see somebody walking on the street, or you see somebody who is a neighbor, and you think that they are doing everything right. but you don't know for sure. Okay. The other thing is that the body is temporary. It is going to start from birth and end at death. But the self is continuous. So the self has this, I mean, at least from the needs and the activities, you can see that there is some hint of continuity. Our needs for happiness are continuous, our activities are continuous. It is giving a hint of the fact that the self is continuous. So it's like if you watch a serial. Today, if you watch one episode, you might think things are so unfair. But we have not seen what happened in the past serials. So it is possible that if you saw the thing from the serial from the beginning, you might feel, okay, it's fine. We are seeing from the perspective of from this birth to this lifetime. But we don't know what is there, what happened in the past. So basically, nothing is unfair in this existence. We make our choices, and what choice we make today decides our destiny tomorrow. That destiny, sometimes it carries forward from a previous journey also. That possibility also you should keep open. So we may not recall right now what the issue is, but emotionally, mentally, if there were some issues, that can also lead to some impact in this lifetime. I didn't want to bring it up, but since you asked the question. But the important thing is, see, we always have free will. There is always this question about destiny and free will. So what comes before me today is my destiny. I can't change it. Now at least I can't change it. What I do based on my response, that I am free to do, regardless of what has come before me. So now I can, if I can see what are the healthiest practices, all that, I will continue to do those. If emotionally there is an issue, then I will try to resolve those. But at the same time, I will respond to every situation, and this will create my destiny tomorrow. That is one possibility. Other possibility may be that since the self chooses, it's not like a punishment. It is sometimes the self chooses certain body conditions for a challenge, so that it wants to overcome that for the development of the self. So that possibility is also open. So in whose case, what possibility is there, we can't say. But the important thing to see is what has come before me, it doesn't matter. It's like if you're walking and there is a hole in the ground, there's no point in standing there and say, who dug this hole? Why is it come before me? What if I fell into it? No point. What I will do, I will just walk around it and go. That would be a response. Reaction would be, if I stand there and complain, grumble and say, because of such people, other people are suffering and all that. Those are reactions. So I have the choice. That free will I always have. So based on that free will, we can choose to have a better destiny tomorrow. That much freedom we do have. And accept it in a way that sometimes when we don't accept a situation also, a body situation, we are creating resentment within us. That is also harming the body. So try to accept things as they are and do whatever you can do to the best of your ability. You will find that you will be at peace. Okay? What is that? Exactly, that's what I'm meaning when I say what we did in the past. And karma has to do not just with action, it has to do with your feelings, your thoughts. That is why the significance of self-inquiry, looking into yourself. Because your emotions, your thoughts are going to have an impact on the body also. And it is like even science has said that the universe is reverberation, vibration. So whatever thoughts, feelings you are having, it is sending some vibrations. And whatever you give out is what you get back. We say it in different ways, that, you know, what you sow, so you reap. Those kind of things that we say. But it should not be taken as punishment. It should not be taken that now I have to learn my lesson. In a way, we are doing for self-development. So we choose certain tough conditions so that we can rise above them. That's how we should look at it and go forward. Okay, I think we should break for lunch. Time is up.